Good afternoon. This is Friday, March the 5th, 2021, and this is Pastor Karl with your weekly update for our Life Together in Community at St. Peter's. As you see, I have a new microphone, but I'm still the same old pastor, giving you the same invitation I do each week to come and worship with us Sunday morning at 8:30 or 11 in the sanctuary, or you can join us online on Facebook, YouTube, or on our website at stpetersumc.com. This coming Sunday afternoon at 5:30, we are going to gather on Zoom to celebrate the Lord's Supper. We're going to be sending out an email to everyone on how to log in and be a part of that service. And like last month, we will offer the elements in little individual cups available for pickup at the church on Sunday morning. If you're unable to come by the church, that's okay. You can provide your own elements at home. Coming up on Saturday, March the 27th from 10 to noon, St. Peter's is going to be holding a different sort of Easter egg hunt. It's going to be a drive-through event where families will get to travel along Jesus' journey from the palms to the empty tomb. Not only will children be able to seek out the colorful eggs placed around the yard, but all participants are going to be able to find the only true treasure worth seeking, and that is the message of God's love and forgiveness made clear through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. If you want to be a part of this outreach event, please call the church office and we will find a place for you to be a part. Last spring, due to COVID-19, the church had to curtail a lot of our regular activities surrounding Holy Week and Easter. We had to skip our annual procession of the palms in the sanctuary on Palm Sunday, as well as our procession of the faithful carrying the large wooden cross from the church to Mitchell Village Park on Good Friday. And at sunrise on Easter Sunday, we did welcome the morning together, but we did it on Zoom instead of at the water's edge. But Easter came just the same, didn't it? The good news of the empty tomb could not be silenced by the restrictions of a then new pandemic. That good news, that message of that good news cannot be silenced now, and it cannot be silenced ever. This year, I'm happy to say, we will have our procession where we carry the cross to the park. And we will have a sunrise service at the foot of that cross on Easter Sunday. When an annual tradition such as either one of these is interrupted, it gives us pause to consider why they've become a tradition. That is, what is it that we truly miss when an annual event doesn't happen? Sometimes we yearn to return to having those events out of a sense of comfort or out of some emotional need. You know, it's just not Easter without the sunrise service, right? Or someone else may say, but we always carry the cross to the park. Well, I hope that our yearning is more than a desire to return to what's familiar. I hope it's a longing to share a witness to our faith through those events. You see, when people see us walking down the road, carrying that cross, what they see is followers of Jesus Christ telling the story of his sacrifice. When we gather together in the cold of dark 30 in the park on Easter morning, we're there to sing and proclaim that Jesus Christ has risen. To tell the world that he defeated sin and death and rose to new life. We are there as a witness to our faith. We carry the cross and gather in the park not because it's what we always do, but because we want to show the world what he did for us. In 1 Corinthians chapter 15, the Apostle Paul writes, "For I handed on to you as of first importance what I in turn had received, that Christ died for our sins in accordance with the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he was raised on the third day in accordance with the Scriptures, and that he appeared to Cephas, then to the 12. Then he appeared to more than 500 brothers and sisters at one time, most of whom are still alive, though some have died. Then he appeared to James, then to all the apostles. Last of all, as to someone untimely born, he appeared also to me, for I am the least of the apostles, unfit to be called an apostle, because I persecuted the church of God. But by the grace of God, I am what I am, and his grace towards me has not been in vain. On the contrary, I worked harder than any of them, though it was not I, but the grace of God that is with me. Now listen to what he says. He says in verse 11, whether then it was I or they, so we proclaim, and so you have come to believe. That's what we do as believers. We proclaim to the world. We proclaim to the world that Christ died for our sins. We proclaim to the world that he is risen from the dead and opens up a door to new life for all who believe. That's why we do the things we do as a church. That's why we do these old traditions, why we return to these things that have worked so well in the past to share that message. And so we return to them to continue to share the message. Jesus Christ is alive. Let us proclaim that to the world through all that we do. Remember, I am praying for you.